Hey spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. Almost said it wrong. Now, I haven't actually done an official Let's Play of this before. I have played the game and I have played it on stream, but I've never done like a full Let's Play. Paradox were nice enough and kind enough to give me access to the Cradle of Civilization preview build so I can play the DLC before it's out. Super awesome, those guys. I really appreciate that. Show them love for that if you can. That's really cool of them to give someone even as small as I am access to their game. I've had other indie developers, you know, or not even indie developers, but just developers in general basically tell me that, you know, I'm too small and, you know, I don't get enough numbers. Paradox were just like, hey, you like our games and you produce videos regularly? You're in, dude. And I was like, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. That was really nice of them. So I didn't actually pay for this. I got it for free off Paradox. So I think it's important to say that. So, and this is not any sort of review. This is just me playing the game. Don't think of it as like that. And what we're going to be doing today is I wanted to try and play as Yemen and try to unite the Arabian Peninsula. I feel like that's a fairly, you know, difficult task because although Yemen starts with some extra cores, they have a lot of very angry people around them that don't like them, who are different religions and stuff, like the Coptic Christians over here. And Aden doesn't really like Yemen and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm trying to think now, what else was I was going to say? I was thinking about doing a Timurid game, but I already streamed myself playing the Timurids, and that's kind of a, you know, it's kind of exploitable, and you can just, like, kind of get around and be huge and strong. I was also tempted to play as the Mamluks. That could have been a really interesting game, and part of me was also kind of tempted to maybe just do a European game, but no, everyone does a European game. I want to play as Yemen. I want to play as a little tiny nation over here. Let's see if we can make a big difference in the world. So the very first thing we are going to do is we're going to get the game started. I will be playing, I'm tempted to play an Ironman, but I think I won't play an Ironman because, you know what? We'll play an Ironman, who cares? I'm not going to get leaderboard score because I'm not logged into the Paradox launcher because I forgot. I did do a test game here, and I did a short little test thing here to make sure that the game ran just fine and Ironman was working okay. So this is what we're going to call it as. Yep, we're going to overwrite that file. So yeah, I did a test game and it went okay. I played around with the just getting used to all the mechanics and stuff like that. I spent like about 20 minutes with it. So let's have a look at our little pop-ups over here. The very first one is over here. We have the ability to enact an ICTA, government action. Now, we don't have any vassals, so it doesn't seem like it's very worth it for us to use the Liberty Desire one. That was extremely useful as the Timurids, however. Similarly, we don't actually need to really create cores because we actually have, if we check over here, we actually have a few cores in the early game that we'll be able to snag up. And we don't have any vassals to get the manpower from, which I would consider, you know, the main draw of this thing. So I don't really see much use of that one. Now, we don't have any vassals either for this tax one, but this one does give us just 15% tax, and that seems like a decent modifier, so that's the one we're going to choose. We'll go with the tax. That's the first little pop-up here. Yeah, I think I will reclaim Damar here. This province here. It's my core province. I have a core on it. So we're gonna pop that in like that. I'm also going to choose my rivals. I think I will definitely rival Aden. Now, I don't think I'm going to rival Adal. And thankfully, they didn't actually rival me. Now, Hadramut also rivaled me, so I will sort of reciprocate that rivalry. And the Rasids also don't like me very much. Now, where is Miklaf? Okay, here's this. I'm gonna rival Miklaf. So let me have a look around now. So that's sort of the major things that we need to take care of in the early game. Probably what we're going to do is we're going to check our force limit here. We have 6 of 8, so I'm going to build 1 more cavalry. And 1 more infantry. And that'll bring me up to... I should still be making money after that. I'm also going to recruit a leader, and hopefully I roll well on this guy. A couple of shock would be quite nice. Okay, 3 fire and 1 maneuver. We're going to be training this guy, so we have a 7% chance per year that he gets an upgrade, as well as we'll be getting army professionalism out of it. What else do we want to do? I'm thinking of focusing on military technology. A lot of my early game here is because I don't need to build cores. I think focusing on military tech here is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. It will slow down my other areas, but we should be just fine. We'll be getting a new... Our heir is quite good if we can get him. I'm tempted to make my ruler into a combat fighter just to see what he's like. Okay, he's actually quite good. So I'm gonna have him one fire, 3 shock, 3 maneuver, 1 siege. That's actually very, very good. He rolled very well. In fact, he basically rolled to his maximum capability. But yeah, we're gonna use him as our general. And we will be attacking. We'll be attacking Aden here as soon as we can. Probably will take a little bit of time here because we have some diplomatic issues to sort out. Namely, that we have no allies. So let's go up here into the diplomatic macro builder, and let's have a look at who will give me alliances. Oh, I could actually make friends with Adal. Oh man, if I made friends with Adal, we could basically he could control the Horn and I could control Arabia. We could be best buds for life. Adal is also like one of my best candidates for going to war with later though. For now, I'm gonna make an alliance with Aden. So who are your enemies, just so I know not to friend any of them? So it looks like Ethiopia, Weleta, and Ajuran, Warsangali. So Warsangali is out, but Marahan might be in. Let's have a look at a few more alliances. I do have to wait a day before I can send another one, so let's go up to speed 3 and let a day tick over. Okay, we have an alliance with Adal. I think I might take Medina and Shammar, because these guys will provide me a nice buffer zone against these northern states. Are they... okay, so they're rivals, so I can only have one of them. Who do I think looks scarier? Well, they're both kind of about the same size. So I think I'll make friends with Medina. There's Medina on my side. We'll wait one more day for this to finish. So that's 2 of my 4 relationship slots that I have, right? I think that's right. We start with 4, right? Yeah, we start with 4. We've used up 2. Let's do one more relationship slot here. We have a few options. None of them really appealing to me. Ajuran, are you rivaled with Adal? Okay, you're rivals with Adal. We might just have to make do with 2 allies here. And then see if we can maybe vassalize Hadramut or something. Could be useful. This is the wrong button. I didn't mean to press that one. I was meant to go up here. I want to see what kind of options do we have here. Okay, so we have none of these. I would like to maybe do a humiliate rival here fairly early into the game to get some extra splendor points. It's a pretty easy one to pull off. Anyway, so we are drilling our army. We do have a trade fleet here. I'm going to set this trade fleet to protect the Gulf of Aden. Now, it will result in a profit, so that's quite good. I also want to check that I do not have a merchant over here, so I'm going to send a merchant to collect. I could send a merchant over here as well, although I don't know if I could even get anything. I don't know what transfer trade power does, but I'm going to send him to do it anyway. And that's all my merchants taken care of. Let's go ahead and take a little look here. We'll kind of pick up speed here as we wait. We could be... Do we have the option to hire a decent... okay, morale of army. So I will probably hire this guy before I go to the war. I do need to check who your allies are. If you don't have allies by December, I'm tempted to declare war. So Mara... A royal marriage from Medina, that's fine. So Mara. So this guy wants to make friends. Now, I'll probably be declaring war on him at some time in the future. He's friends with Warsangali. Who are your rivals? Hadramut and Aden. You know what? I'll take this alliance. So we have all of our alliances now. And that makes me feel relatively protected because I have a bunch of different people I can call on if things get hairy. Let me make sure I didn't go over my relationship. No, okay, so we have one more room. And I want to... There was one more thing I wanted to do, and I'm trying to remember which button it is. There's so many buttons in this game now that it's very difficult. I could debase my currency because I don't plan on spending any of it, but I probably won't do that. Let's see here. I'm probably going to take its stability here early. Although my religious unity is too low to really justify that. Anyway, let's just get the time ticking, I suppose. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. And when I'm around 8k manpower... Ah, yes, I will take a royal marriage with Adal. Oh, now I remember what it was. I forgot to set my diplomats to do things. So I'm just going to set one diplomat to make friends with all of these people. Just so I don't have to manage it. And I'll pull diplomats back as I need. Royal marriage from Mara. I will take it. That'll hurt my legitimacy a little bit, but it will give me... it'll solidify those relationships a bit more. So what I need to do is I need to actually check what is your claim. So you believe you own all this. What do you want to do? Well, what I want is pretty clearly... What do you want? Okay, I'm kind of looking at what some of these people want. Medina wants all these sorts of things. The Timurids are pretty optimistic about what they can pull off. Okay, I'm getting a bit far away. That's all fine. So we consider all of this stuff ours, and the good news is our units have finished, so the drilling should now be almost a 10% chance that we will upgrade every year. I'm hoping for a couple of those over the course of the game. But once we have about 10% drill... Oh, royal marriage with Mara died, that's fine. Yeah, once we have about 10% drill here, we'll be going to war here with our dear enemy Aden. Now, Aden did make friends with Ajuran and Warsangali. I'll lose the prestige and legitimacy, so let me have a look. Now, these guys are mildly scary. So how often do I owe them a favor? Every 2 years I get a favor with them. Every 1 year I get a favor with them. Every 1 year I get a favor with them. Miklaf gains a claim on Zabid. So I'm pretty sure... Ah, yes, excellent. I got a shock pip from my leader. My leader got a shock pip. Very, very nice. So this is part of the new Cradle of Civilization thing. Your leaders can get upgrades from drilling troops. We're still making money. We are going to be declaring war here when we're about 10,000 manpower, maybe about 12% army drill. Army professionalism is another thing that also gives you more damage and stuff. That's sort of more of a long-term sort of boost and upgrade that you can get. When we fight the war, we do need to basically wipe his army out as soon as possible. Okay, he did build another infantry. That's going to make things a little bit harder. We do have a really good shock bonus, though. And we have a good cash flow here. What's our drill percentage up to? So probably just a couple more months here. Okay, one more month and then we'll declare. And there it is. Okay. So let's turn off drilling. Let's pull back a diplomat to get ready to declare the war. Once this guy hits up to maximum. So unfortunately, he does have 2 allies and they're kind of scary, but I think what I can do is if I hit him hard enough and fast enough, I should be able to block these guys from getting over here. My neighbor, my ally Adal, should not give them military access, if I understand diplomacy right. Okay, so this would make the Ulema estate lose loyalty and I would move more towards mysticism, and I believe mysticism would give me army morale, so I'm okay with going that direction. Or, if I agree to their demands, they gain loyalty, which doesn't really do a whole lot to me. I'm going to ignore their demands. I'm going to move towards mysticism, because that'll actually help me convert this place. Yeah, I'll move towards mysticism. It'll give me a little bit of army morale, and a little bit of prestige to make up for the negative I was suffering from. Okay, my army is fully moraled, so let's grab a morale of armies leader. So, we're going to take Abdallah Saab, and this will hurt my gold income, but it will mean my army is that little bit stronger. And then we'll wait 1 month before we declare the war. And we should be able to smash this army pretty well. We have an extra unit on top of them, which is a fairly significant advantage. I would have liked to have 2 units on top of them, but 1 unit should be fine. Let's get our fleet here. I want my fleet in this coastal province for the purpose of if anyone tries to cross, I can bounce my fleet out and block their crossing. So my army is ready. Let's declare the war. Let's go down to speed 2. I think speed 2 is fairly okay for early in a war. Now, his 2 allies will accept the call, so that's got to be quite scary. He's got a lot of troops, but I should be able to block them from getting across. And if they do get across, I should be able to just kind of slow them down. None of these guys will accept the call to war, so I'm going to have to kind of be very, very careful here. I do have a 2-star general. Let's move in. He put a leader. It's a 1-3-2 leader, but I have a 1-4-3 leader. So I think I have an advantage here, just barely. But if the rolls go poorly, and they are going kind of poorly, I'm taking a bit too much damage, but I have way more morale than him. Yeah, there's that nice shock phase. Now, we rolled poorly in the fire phase, so we're taking a bit more damage. Just give me a good shock phase. Okay, not terrible. We have more troops than him, so we're still doing more damage, even though we technically rolled lower due to modifiers. Okay, that should be his army finished, and we will chase it down and stack wipe it. Ah, 10% movement speed, that's pretty good. So they are trying to land troops. You can see them walking out onto the transports. Okay, we stack wiped. Where is he walking to? Mukah, so we want to be defending there. So he should try to land there in Mukah. 23rd of December. Okay. Let's shift consolidate so my front lines are well established. Okay, just a few days away until he lands. Okay, we're under attack. We're obliterating him thanks to the crossing. We completely annihilated him. There goes his army. Mogadishu? Is that a vassal of someone? I think it's a vassal of these guys. So I feel like we can... I feel like we can grab our cavalry here. Let's shift consolidate again. Let's grab a cavalry and an infantry. Let's send the cavalry out to this far province. And we'll send the infantry to this province. While we recuperate over here. Now we need to keep an eye out, because if they try to land more troops, we need to be ready to deal with that. So I'm just trying to capture these 2 provinces to make sure we win. I think we can fire... Uh-oh. Looks like a troop spawned there. He built it. Yeah, it looks like he managed to get troops built just in time. So let's move in here to try and wipe this troop out as well. We can't let him rebuild his army. It looks like he's building another foot soldier in here. We should take these out and they should get stack wiped. There we go. Stack wipe. Let's shift consolidate. We will leave one infantry behind. We'll go stand on Aden. I don't want to devastate and siege down these provinces because they're mine. Essentially, I want to have them for my own. You know, they belong to me. But we're gonna siege down Aden now. And I think I can give this guy the boot. He did his job. He gave me the extra boost of morale I needed to win the first strike. I just can't afford to keep paying him here. You might say that was a bit of a waste, but I think it was that little bit of security that you need sometimes to make sure you win a war. Now, I need to keep an eye out for any troops landing, and here are some troops landing. So, let's move there to intercept, because we cannot let them land. If we let them land troops for free on my territory, it's bad news. Okay, we occupy both of those provinces. Now, they will slowly tick up devastation, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Let's shift consolidate here, so that I have maximum strength units on my front line. 25th of April, we should stack wipe this as well. So, there we go, doing significant damage. Okay, there's all his troops dead. I've killed a lot now. Okay, what date will you arrive? In the 6th of May. Let's regroup. Let's regroup and then we'll attack these guys. Okay, good. He went into one of these provinces. We'll shift consolidate so our front line is solidified. He's only got 4 infantry here, so we should be able to do a lot. I'm hoping to wipe this out as well. Okay, what kind of roll did we get here in the fire phase? A 7 versus a 6, but we have a -2. The shock phase, ooh, we have a very nice shock phase here. He is bringing in another unit to reinforce, but I don't think it's enough. There are more and more units coming. So we're going to move here. We're under attack again. We should wipe this guy out pretty quick. He should take a lot of damage. They're trying to escape. Okay, nice one. We've wiped out a lot of units now. I'm very, very proud of this little battle that we've managed to orchestrate. We caught another unit, and we should stack wipe it as well. There we go. So we're going to shift consolidate here to minimize the expense, and we're going to keep sieging this down. I'll probably shift consolidate every month to keep the costs of reinforcement down as much as possible. Because I believe it's actually cheaper. If you're shift consolidating, it kind of makes your units full strength and you don't pay as much for full strength units or something. I don't know exactly, or whatever. Basically, less units will be reinforcing, so they're less expensive. Let's see here. We need to keep an eye on these boats. I know this has been a fairly slow, 20 minutes for 3 years, it's been a fairly slow sort of start here, but I think it's absolutely worth it to take your time here in the early game to get some of these things right. Okay, just want to keep an eye on some of these guys. Where are you going? Okay, you're looking to reinforce, I think. I'm pretty proud of this nice wiping that we've done, though. We did a very good job, I think, wiping out these armies. Picked up ourselves quite a decent amount of army tradition now. If we were to get a siege leader, or if we were to get a leader, he would have an extra minimum pip. I think it's every 20 army tradition, you get +1 pip. Minimum. It starts off at 2 to 8. At 20, you get 3 to 9. At 40, you get 4 to 10, I think. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong. It's something like that. Anyway, my my actual like king rolled really well. So I feel confident now going up to speed 3. I just need to keep an eye on these units, because if they land an army, if they land a sizable army, it's really, really bad for me. But if I can keep them distracted and keep, ping-ponging them around and making sure their guys can't do what they want to do, I should be in pretty good shape. So it looks like they actually are trying to land an army now. So they're moving out onto the boat. We're going to want to intercept this. So we're going to leave behind a small contingent of troops. These guys are landing in Mukha. Oh, I guess you can't leave behind contingents of troops anymore, can you? To keep sieges going. That used to work. I guess it doesn't work anymore. Okay, we need to be ready for these landings. It's going to be on the 4th of December. Okay, let's get the battle started. Ooh, look at that damage. Here comes an absolutely devastating shock phase. Yeah. Completely obliterated. Even more army tradition and all that good stuff. Lots of prestige actually from these battles. It's really, really nice. We won pretty much all the battles. I am being blockaded, which hurts, because we don't really have a way to fight back against a blockade. But we are sieging here, and it should take some time. It'll take a bit of time. I would like to take my boats out here, and eventually I will want a bigger navy if I can get... I want a lot of trade ships to try and control the trade around here. Less cogs and stuff, but mostly trade ships. Although there is an inland sea here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, so maybe a few galleys could be quite good here to patrol and defend in around here. We'll see exactly what we do. Okay, we got our first tick of siege progress. I would love to fight these guys, but I don't feel safe doing it. Aden's war exhaustion is now fairly high. They're going to be getting more and more desperate to thing. Really all we need to do is get this siege down. And in the spirit of doing that, I'm going to go up to speed 4, but I'm going to be pausing fairly regularly just to keep an eye out for any of these things. Okay, so it looks like England is having the War of the Roses. How close are we to attack? Yeah, we might be able to get Tech 5 here, which will be a huge advantage for pushing and killing all these neighbours around us. You might say that keeping an army here taking 1% attrition. I think it's worth it, personally. 1% of 1,000 troops is like 10 men per army or something, right? Yeah, it's like 10 men per army, so we're actually technically gaining manpower, even though we're taking pretty much the most attrition we could be taking. Okay, we actually broke down the walls here. We breached the walls. So it looks like he's actually building up an army here to come for us. I'm going to spare no expense here to get as much admin as we can. It's definitely worthwhile to take the inflation, in my opinion. Okay, Adal. Wait, who insulted us? We have a... I think our ally insulted us there. Oh dear. You're still my ally, right? Yeah. So we need to keep an eye on this army over here, in case they try to land. But we're very, very close to taking this. I would like to get this war finished this episode, so I might just extend the length. I was planning on ending it at 25 minutes, but we're already at like 30 now. I want to get like one war done this episode. We're up to 42%. We pretty much could not have a better chance of capturing this. And there we go. So it's a 400-day siege. Let's go ahead and take all of our provinces back. I also want to take all of the money. This will give me 2 inflation, which kind of hurts. I can't take all the money, so maybe I'll bring that down a little bit. There we go. So we'll take 68 money. This will be 1.36 inflation. Demand exceeds war score. What do you mean? You're basically annexable. Oh, I guess he still does have allies in the war. Oh, I guess I have to wait, don't I? Do I have to wait for a certain number of years before they, like, basically will unconditionally surrender? I pretty much have no intention of ever attacking these people in their homeland, so I'm just going to sit here and, like, wait until they'll accept, until they start sending me peace offers, basically. The kind of sad thing is, this is, like, putting huge amounts of devastation in here, which is really, really painful for the prosperity, but you know, what can you do? I think I would really like to boost my stability here, but because I have religious unity problems, I don't think it's worthwhile. We're making a little bit of casual money here. I'm going to drill. I'm going to drill in Thais. I may as well. I think it's worth it to get the little bit of army professionalism. It will bring the morale of my troops down. But by the time we spot an army trying to cross, we should, we can cancel the drilling and we'll be fine. So we're not going to get this war finished, sadly, but it's basically finished. We can't get them to sign the peace treaty. So I tell you what we'll do. We'll call this an end to this episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more EU4 from me. Remember to leave a like if you want to directly support my channel, and remember to leave a comment if you want to give me your feedback on this episode. Other than that, though, I want to say I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.